TIFU by asking my wife what she would do if I slapped her across the face. I was working from home and went downstairs to the kitchen to make a cup of tea. I'd been concentrating on work and took the opportunity to briefly switch off and rest my mind for a bit. As I was walking down the stairs, I wondered what it would be like to slap someone across the face. There was no particular reason or context to this thought. I could just have easily wondered what it would be like to fill some wellies with tomato soup and walk down the street wearing them. My wife was in the kitchen making her lunch, and without any consideration or thought, as I walked in, I straight up asked her, "What would you do if I slapped you across the face?" Quote. She replied to say, "That's very mean," started crying, and left the room. I'm going to take from that response that she wouldn't be too chuffed if I did slap her. Still not on proper speaking terms. I've got some making up to do. For the record, I've never slapped her, or anyone for that matter, and have no intention of ever doing so. TL. Doctor, I asked my wife what she would do if I slapped her across the face, and she started crying. Just asked my wife what she'd do if I slapped her in the face. She instantly responded, "What would you do if I stabbed you in the heart while you slept?" Quote. Seems like you should have asked her about the tomato soup and wellies instead. You let the intrusive thoughts win up. A lot of people in here outing how poor of a relationship they have. I can understand that response if there was no prior discussion, no preamble to the question. My wife and I discuss lots of things like this, but it's kind of a rolling conversation, and we make sure both are aware of the context. Out of the blue, with no knowledge of her past or experiences, this could certainly trigger or cause things such as PTSD. At the very least, it would be a hell of a surprise for her to hear. I hope you guys work this out and talk. Communication is so important. I would like to hear what else you have to say with that filter you have. Just because you have a question doesn't mean you should find out the answer. Prime example of fuck around and find out. I honestly don't know if to take this post seriously, lol. It sounds a little ridiculous. I get random intrusive thoughts all the time. Sometimes weird, sometimes funny, and sometimes borderline violent like yours. But I've never had a person close me take any of them serious because 1. They know I have these random thoughts because I share them, and 2. They know I would never act on them. A few examples are, wouldn't it be crazy if I swerved the car? Do you think the dogs would get hurt if I pushed them from up here? Quote. Would you be mad if I kicked you in the nuts? Quote. They usually give me the "you're a idiot" stare and walk off, or laugh, or sometimes answer. But it sounds like your wife could have possibly taken you serious. I'm not sure why, because you're close and she should know you wouldn't hurt her. But you never know. Maybe that question triggered something? I know if I had a boyfriend who I hadn't dated for very long ask me that, a part of me would think he was testing the waters. I would question, is that just a random thought or something that's genuinely crossed your mind before, and you're asking just to see how mad I would be if it happened? But again, I would only think that way if this was someone I hadn't known for a prolonged amount of time. I suggest talking to her, explaining it was truly random and not even particularly about her. Apologize and give her the floor. Explain why your question affected her that way. Don't invalidate her feelings with words like, "But you know I'd never hurt you." Because maybe she doesn't know that. Assure her you wouldn't. Say you will be mindful. Ask for a hug and a kiss and ask her to forgive you, then move on. If she still insists on being upset, then I don't think there's anything else you can do but give her time to come around. If you really want to make things better, stop eating paint chips off the curb. Trust me. She should have asked you what you would do if she kicked you real hard in the nuts afterwards. That's probably what I would have said. I am famously mean and bad-tempered though. Seems like one of those things you headcanon rather than bringing out into the world. I'm going to take from that response that she wouldn't be too chuffed if I did slap her. Quote, WTF op? I don't see the big deal honestly. My wife and I ask each other stupid questions like this all the time. Hey honey, I'm considering a casual act of violence against you. What do you think about that? Quote, geez. Why the waterworks? Quote, honestly just a shocking number of people here cheering this on. Bro let his intrusive thoughts have the mic. Bro you're an idiot. Do you have Tourette's? I would have laughed if I was asked that question. I'm not sure exactly how you were acting like when you asked the question, but she kinda overreacted. Unless you sounded menacing or something, I don't see anything wrong with that.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.